Hello everyone, and this review is all about Land Rover's new Discovery Sport model. I'll show you around the car, show you some of the design cues, take you inside, show you the interior, review some of the technology on the car, and also importantly tell you how the car drives. So let's go and take a closer look. So the Discovery Sport model then. This is Land Rover's replacement for the Freelander model, and previously the Discovery name has only been held by Land Rover's big proper four-wheel drive car, but now the Discovery name is becoming a brand in its own right, hence why it's applied to this new model. It's Land Rover's entry model. It starts at £30,095 here in the UK. All diesel engines. You have a choice of either 150 PS or 180 PS. Manual or automatic gearbox with, wait for it, 9 gears. This model here is the HSE luxury model, so it's the top of the range version, and that comes in with some of the options that I'll take you through at £47,000, and this is the 9-speed automatic version. Fuel economy wise, the reported figures are up to 53 miles per gallon. I've driven this car in a mixture of driving styles and report about 40-42 to the gallon. CO2 emissions are comparatively low at 139 grams per kilometre. But you'll see the kind of design cues lifted from the Range Rover brand, with the headlights that then merge into the wings, and the same is carried out on the rear as well. The reason for that, I believe, the design allows the car to seem smaller than it actually is, so it helps to shrink the car rather than be some big mass on the road. The important thing with this Discovery Sport model is that it's actually badged a 5+2 seating arrangement. So you've got 5 seats as you'd expect in the front, but 2 little seats in the boot, which I will show you in more detail when we take a look inside. It's a smart looking car. Not so sure that much about the rear styling. I do like the front styling, but it does have all those Land Rover cues, design cues that you would expect. So let's go and take a look inside, show you some of the interior, the technology, the functionality, that being key, this being sold really as a practical family sized SUV. Stepping inside then, you get a really spacious, airy feeling interior, which is helped of course by the optional panoramic glass roof. This is a massive area, but it really helps to bathe the interior in light, which creates this feeling of spaciousness. Loads and loads of headroom. We move into the center console. Get your heating and ventilation controls here. Jaguar Land Rover's rising gear selector, always a nice touch. I have to say, some of the plastics in the car could do with being a better quality. This, bearing in mind, is the top of the range model at £47,000, so it's could be much better quality. But looking beyond that, you still get some nice tasteful design cues here. These feel very nice to operate for the driver and passenger. Temperature controls, you've got your central touch screen there. Some nice leather stitching there. So yeah, I mean, overall there's a feeling of quality. It's a shame some of the plastics let it down, but as I say, the real overall feeling you get when sat in the car is one of spaciousness and airiness as well. So inside, some of the cool tech that you get, I have to show you this one first. The central touch screen. This is, well, as the name suggests, a touch screen. So you navigate by pressing on the relevant functions that you need. But the cool thing about this is that it has Land Rover's what's called dual view system. So me as the driver sat here, sees the normal touchscreen. If we put the navigation on, it looks better. So I'm sat as the driver here, I see the navigation, whereas the passenger, if we do this, you will now see the passenger gets to watch the television, all on the same screen. If we set the camera there, you can just see where the two images merge. So my side, navigation, passenger side, television. Now you may well ask, how does the passenger actually listen to the TV whilst I'm looking at the navigation? And Land Rover helpfully supply a pair of headphones, infrared headphones, to allow the passenger to sit in comfort and watch whatever they want, whether that's a DVD or the TV. But very, very clever system. So this being a Land Rover, of course, do not think for 1 minute, although this is marketed as a family SUV, that Land Rover have forgotten their heritage by making this a soft core kind of off-roader. You've got a selection of modes here. So if we just zoom up to the central screen, we have grass, gravel or snow, mud ruts or sand. So despite its all the pretensions that you may have about the car, it still offers Land Rover's hallmark off-road ability. You have also functions here, hill descent control, which means you can take on some pretty extreme slopes, come down the other side, feet off the pedals, and the car will control your descent accordingly. Feels a bit disconcerting the first time you try it, taking your foot off the brake when you're going down a massively long and dangerous slope, but the programs take care of everything. So Land Rover haven't forgotten what's important and why people buy a Land Rover, because they want that go anywhere ability. The nice thing about driving the Discovery Sport is that because of the elevated driving position you have, it gives you a very nice commanding look over the road ahead, which is actually a trademark of Land Rover. They always give you this commanding driving position. So it's really relaxed to drive, you've got a great view out ahead, the chairs are lovely and supportive, the steering is surprisingly good as well, and it all makes for a very nice relaxed drive. And again, you know, I'm nearly 6 foot and I've got loads of headroom, so again it has this feeling of spaciousness. You can see, I think from the video, the amount of glass in the vehicle, which again helps to give that air of spaciousness as well. It doesn't feel like a big car, you know, it doesn't handle, it's not like the roly-poly affair you might imagine when it comes to cornering. The steering is nice. I mean, admittedly it's no sports car, but it's not quite the galleon sailing the 7 seas that you might imagine when it comes to cornering. And it just makes for a nice relaxing drive. You know, I've got niceties on this car, such as a heated steering wheel, which you might think is a complete gimmick really in the UK, but honestly in this weather it's a really nice feature to have. So heated seats, heated steering wheel, and yeah, it just feels almost, it has that mini Range Rover feeling to it. So maybe looking at the base version at just under £31,000, if you can get a mini Range Rover feeling for £31,000, it's pretty good value as well. The nice thing about the car is the 2-litre diesel engine. This is Jaguar Land Rover's new Ingenium engine. A little bit noisy on startup, but once up to speed it's incredibly refined. It gives you all the pulling power you could ever want, really. Given the size, this is the 180 PS, so the more powerful of the choice of diesels that you have, either the 150 PS or 180 PS. But it's responsive. The interesting thing with the 9 gears is that there's so many of them that sometimes I think the gearbox gets a bit confused, wanting to change up or change down too early or at the wrong position. But you've helpfully got some paddles here on the steering wheel, so you can manually select your gears, which I'd recommend doing actually. On the motorway it's fine, but if you want to make that real progress off the beaten track, then the paddles are quite nice and it allows that interaction with the car as well. Be quiet in here as well, the ride is very smooth, lovely soft cosseting ride. This is on the 20-inch alloy wheels, and considering their large size, it doesn't seem to have a detriment to the ride quality either. So again, it all adds up to this very relaxed driving style. So this being a Land Rover, in particular a Discovery model, it has to be practical and effortless. So you get the optional tailgate system. In the boot you get about 980 litres of boot space with the rear passenger seats up. But you may remember earlier that I said the Discovery Sport was a 5+2 seater, and these here, these little toggles, if we pull them, you even get 2 leather optional rear seats that in fairness are big enough for children really, which is why they say it's, rather than a full 7-seater, they say a 5+2. But they haven't been forgotten in terms of comfort. You get cup holders down there, and on the right hand side you then get a ventilation control as well, so you can control your own temperature all the way from the back here, and there are various power sockets for your devices as well. All works really easily to release. Again, pull the thing, pull it, push forward. Same the other side, push forward, and there you go, back to your conventional 5-seater car. So I have to show you this bit because it will make you laugh, and linked to the convenience side of things, you have here a button for the optional electric tow bar. So if we press this, and then if we wait with bated breath, you should see the tow bar miraculously appear out the back. There you go. Nice, because it then stores it out of the way when it's not in use, to prevent the car from looking a little bit ungainly. And at the touch of the button again, it just disappears. As easy as that. Finally, if you wanted to turn your Discovery Sport into an effective removals van, you have some buttons here, one for each side, right and left. If you press it on the right hand side, pushes the seat forward. Again, on the press the left hand button as well, pushes them forward. And you can then fold the seats all the way down. You can make them flatter, it's just that I have to go around to the passenger seat. But you'll see there then you have loads and loads of room. I mean, I think it adds up to nearly 1700 litres of boot space then, with all the seats folded nicely flat. And I'll show you a picture of them perfectly flat, just so you can see that they do indeed fold flat rather than have this slight angle. Very practical car and very easy to use. So there you have a quick video review on Land Rover's new Discovery Sport. There is of course a more detailed write-up, and I'll post the link to that in the comments section below. Thank you for watching. Please, if you have any questions, please do post them below. Click like, comment, subscribe. But thank you again for watching, and I hope to see you again very soon with some more detailed car reviews.